Hey guys, today's video is going to be on matchups. This video will focus on itemization and some tips and tricks in some of the harder matchups. The three matchups I'd like to discuss in this video are firstly Talon, then Aatrox, and finally Aurelia. The first matchup I'd like to analyze is the Kassadin versus Talon matchup. Although this matchup is a hard matchup for Kassadin, and at the time of this video release he only wins lane versus Talon 31.2% of games, it is still possible to make smart plays and even come out of lane ahead and carry the game. The first thing I'd like to discuss here is itemization. Itemization is key to winning any matchup, whether it's a good matchup or a bad matchup. At the time of this video, I'd like to recommend Ninja Tabbies as a rush towards the Talon matchup. The reason why I say this is it gives you 20 armor, plus the unique passive reduces incoming damage from all basic attacks by 12%, excluding turret shots. It does not reduce the damage of on-hit effects, but in the case of Talon, this does not matter. It does, however, reduce damage on basic attack modifiers. And it's not too pricey to get as an early starting item. It builds some boots, cloth armor, and 500 gold, so even if you don't have enough money to pick it up right away, you can just pick up an early cloth armor. Another viable starting item is the Seeker's Armguard. The Seeker's Armguard gives you 20 additional ability power and 30 armor, and its unique passive is great in unfavorable matchups. It makes it for each unit you kill, you gain an additional 0.5 bonus ability power and armor, and it stacks up to 30 times, which allows you to have a maximum of 15 bonus ability power and armor. This can give you the edge you need to maybe even get first blood in an unfavorable matchup. And its cost isn't too bad, it's only 1,100 gold, and it builds out of 2 cloth armors and an amplifying tome. So if you don't have enough money on your first back, you can pick up 2 cloth armors. One item I can't recommend enough to buy in this matchup is Stopwatch. Stopwatch can give you the edge you need to survive this matchup. When Talon gets his level 6 and is able to use his R, it'll allow him to go invisible. And when he's in this state, you're unable to use most of your abilities on him because you're point and click. So, if you can use the Stopwatch, you can use it to block almost all of his R's damage, and then when his R is gone, you can go back to trading with him again. This is because of the Stasis unique active. It puts yourself in stasis for 2.5 seconds, rendering yourself untargetable and invulnerable for the duration. But you can also not move or attack and cast spells. Even though the item does not give you any stats, it only costs 600 gold and it can be so valuable to save you from a potential all-in. One thing outside of itemization that I can recommend is to bait out Talon's Rake. When Talon uses his Rake, take this opportunity to use your Q and E to poke him and take a trade of him. Since he's missing an ability, you will come out ahead of this trade, even though he's in a counter matchup. For the Aatrox matchup, I'd recommend similar itemization with a Ninja Tabby or Seeker's Armguard rush, depending on your cause. I would, however, not put as much stress on the Stopwatch. The key component to winning, or going even in this matchup, is to bait out Aatrox's abilities. When Aatrox uses his abilities, take this opportunity to gather any CS you can. The overall goal of this matchup is to just survive and get out of the lane as soon as possible, which will lead into my next tip. Now that you have survived the lane, the next thing to do is to pick up a side lane and gain some extra EXP and gold. This will allow you to get solo EXP and get ahead of your laner, who is most likely grouping. Any level advantages you can get over Aatrox will help you a lot and will bring you closer to your level 16 spike on Kassadin. Furthermore, by taking a side lane, you will generate pressure on the map. This will allow your team to make plays elsewhere on the map, and it will also stall out the game, making it more likely for you to win. Also, at this point in the game, Aatrox is most likely more powerful than you, so gaining extra gold from towers taken will be a huge asset for you and your team. For the final matchup, Aurelia, I'd once again recommend either the Ninja Tabby or the Seeker's Armguard rush. I also put a lot of stress once again on the stopwatch. This may be used to block all the damage of Aurelia's R by stasising inside of it. After her R ends, you can use this opportunity to fight her because she no longer has her most powerful ability and it will be on cooldown. Or, if you are not in a position to fight, you can retreat and rethink your strategy. The most important part of this matchup is to use the tips of your E and your Qs to poke Aurelia down. Furthermore, when Aurelia wastes her E, which is the stun, take this opportunity to trade with her. You'll be able to take a trade and run back. Rinse and repeat this method, and if you keep doing this, you'll be able to survive the lane, gain CS, and scale up. And in some instances, if you're effective in this method, you'll even be able to all-in Aurelia and get a first blood on her. For the remainder of this video, I'd like to talk about general itemization tips and how they best apply to these matchups. Normally in these matchups, I like to skip the tier build and just go right for the Rod of Ages. This will allow you to be beefy. Alternatively, you could skip the Rod of Ages altogether and just pick up a Morelos. This item allows you to have some extra health, and you could still pick up a tier to gain extra mana. To be honest, for the next item, it really varies from match to match. If you find yourself constantly being blown up and dying, then I'd recommend picking up a Zhonya's Hourglass. The Zhonya's Hourglass will allow you to escape those near-death scenarios and reevaluate the scenario and figure out the best play to make. If you find yourself doing very well, pick up a Lichbane. The Lichbane will allow you to have high single target burst and even gather some picks on the map. This can be used to secure objectives and close out a game. All in all, with the right strategies, the right mindset, and the right itemization, although these matchups have very bad win rates for Kassadin, some dipping as low as 25% with the Aatrox matchup currently, you can still win. So keep a strong head, and remember, don't give up. There's always late game. Thank you very much everyone for watching today's video. If you liked the content you see today, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, and ring that bell button. And remember everyone, you are null and void. Peace.